Check out these acrylic nails. If you want to see how I did this, keep watching this video. So I purchased this kit at Sally's. I believe it was like maybe $20 to $25 at the most. And just kind of wanted to see if I could get a feel for it. I personally like to do gel nails where you bake under the light. But the new thing now is the acrylic powder. It lasts a lot longer. It's a little bit harder than the gel and doesn't lift. And so I want to try it on myself. So basically what I did was I had just soaked off my gel polish. So that's why my hands were so white. And here you will see that I'm just going through. I've already filed and buffed my nails. I'm just going through and putting step 1, which is the primer. That primer kind of just roughs up the nail to get it ready for the polish. So here I have step 2. This is actually the nail base and top gel coat. This is just like a clear nail polish, and so I chose the pink. It's like a very pale pink acrylic dip powder to actually provide the color to my nails. So this coat of the gel base, it's very, very like it again, it's like clear nail polish. And so you want to apply this very thin. You don't want to put it too thick, because if it's too thick, then the nail looks very, very like you have a tip on it. And so basically I'm just going and I'm applying that to my nail and making sure I get the ends, or I guess to the tip, and at a 45-degree angle. I just kind of put my hand in that powder, or I'm sorry, my finger in that powder, and then I just started to knock off the excess. And I noticed when I first dipped it that first time, I guess there was a spot that I did not cover well, so I double dipped it. But I just did that on all 10 nails, and basically just like polishing, dipping, knocking off the excess, and then polish, dip again. So after I dipped all 10 nails, I realized my hands felt really, really gritty. Like it was like unbelievable, the feel. It wasn't a bad feel, but it was just like just too much for me. I don't like my hands to be dirty, so it was a very awkward feeling. So I did brush off all the excess, and I realized that I had a little cotton ball, or part of the towel that I was using. So I went ahead and kind of made sure those areas were clean and free from any lint. And so now this is me applying the second coat. So I just, again, I started over. I polished with that the gel top coat, and then I dipped my hand at that 40. I'm sorry, I keep saying my hand. I dipped my finger at that 45-degree angle, and then I knocked off the excess acrylic powder. I found that me going in at a 45-degree angle was a lot easier because when I went straight down, um, it was a new bottle, so it just started to like come out, and I wanted to save as much as I could. So I kind of went at an angle, and that kind of helped a lot with me saving the powder, not wasting it. And throughout each finger, what I would do after I polished and after I came out of the dip, I would kind of shake it back even because it was like beach sand almost. It would kind of take that fingerprint in there, so I would want to level it back off. So when I went right back behind it with my next finger, it would be at an angle, and I could like get in and get out of that powder fairly easily. So now I have applied 2 coats to all 10 fingers, and now I'm just kind of brushing off any additional powder that may be on my hands. I was kind of looking them over, and I was like, okay, this looks okay, first time, but I feel like it's doable. I was kind of second guessing myself at first, and I was like, nope, you gotta finish this. You can do this. So the next coat that I got was the gel activator, and this too is it is clear, but it's more like a watery. It's like the primer consistency, and so I just brushed it on to make sure I was evenly coating everything, not using too much, and it immediately dried. So I just kind of just did that on each nail, followed it from my cuticles to the tips, and I just did all 10 fingers. So all 10 fingers are complete, and now um, if you feel them, they're kind of rough, and so in order to get that smooth nail feel, you have to buff off that the roughness of it. And so basically, I just lightly buffed. Didn't buff on them too long because I didn't know, if I was going to take anything off or not. And they turned out really great. While I was doing that, I was kind of buffing the actual surface of the nail, or I guess the bed of the nail. And then I just kind of went around the tip of the nail so it wouldn't be so rough. This buffer that I used, it wasn't very hard buffer. It was very soft. It wasn't rough at all. So you don't want to get anything rough. You truly want to just buff them to not rough them up, if that makes sense. So I just started looking them over, and I was like, okay, these have a couple little imperfections, but not too bad for a first time. So I just kind of took my file, and I was kind of going around my cuticles a little bit. You could just tell a little bit where I may have gone too far into the powder, or applied the gel top coat too much, and it probably got up on the back of my cuticles. So now I'm going to apply a top coat. Now, the instructions that came with my kit said to just apply a top coat. And so I did not have just a top coat because, again, I usually wear gel. So I just got my gel top coat, and I was like, I'm gonna get this. And the more I looked at the color, it was very, very pale. So I was like, okay, I want to kind of bring it out a little bit. So I did get my gel glitter, and I did that over the nails. And then, of course, I baked under the light. And then once all 10 nails were complete with the glitter, then I went back in with the clear top coat and baked all 10 nails, and then I got my end result. They are. What do you think? All sparkly and ready to go. So I'm going to see if these will hold up for 2 weeks or more. Talk to you soon.